4 o'clock in India, and I hope many people in Europe as well as the other part of the world will be listening to me. This is not a live video cast, and this is just a plain, simple, uh, what you call is a voice podcast, or listen to me. That is what I've been trying to say. So the topic is why and how war like situation can be avoided, how to avoid war and hire people from abroad or different countries, how they can be helpful in avoiding war. Well, basic reason is the human psychology and medical terms. If you see any mixture of these people are never successful. If you came with the same breed, same herd, the population will decline and war and crime will always take place. If you have the same herd of people and you are not letting uh, other peoples from different countries into your own nation, then definitely there will be a situation someday, sooner or later, that war or crimes will take place. For example, see Mexico and see United Arab Emirates, see Syria and see Bahrain. Check with countries like Armenia and check with countries like United States, Australia or Canada. Why do they keep people of different nationalities? I'm sorry to see in the case of Ukraine and Russia, this has not been what it should be. While Ukraine and Russia, both the nation avoided people from different nationalities. And as per my own experience and different members of my family, we saw that after a certain duration, they tried to do the jobs or take away the expat fellows' belongings, their clothes, even you can say rob them of small things where it should not be. And mingling with the, you say, mafia of the Europe, giving chances mafia to retain the people who are more criminal like to do the jobs which should have been done by people from abroad, and giving bureaucracy, giving non-transparency, giving corruption more time to occupy. This has what happened in case of Ukraine and Russia. Both the countries were not able to sustain and rely more and more expat people. Both the countries have the population. They try to make rich countries proud of entertaining their citizens into their own country by spending money or hiring less, you can say, different, mix. They did not try to mix around with different nationalities. These two countries, if given a chance, could have hired people from other countries, say like Iran. There have been Iranian and Kazakhstani and Azerbaijani working in Russia and uh, Ukraine. But I am sorry to say, these have been more criminal type. These people who came from Iran, who came from Kazakhstan, who came from uh, Azerbaijan were more criminal type compared to the people who were to be there from India or Thailand or say from Philippines. I see very less Filipino people working in countries like Russia or Ukraine. Why is so? Is Filipino not a human being? Is Indian not a human being? Is Thailand people not a human being? Why has been so? This is my question. So they did not try to mix people from different nationalities. They had a particular set of mind which were more criminalized, or you can say those were you in their own terms called evil people. They hired more evil people, and they did not hire much sane and good people which should have been given a place. Lastly, in my last 1 minute, I'll also note that the United Nations, the World Bank, the World Health Organization, the European Union, especially the people from the European banks and the international banks, have been there, but they also forced people, less people from the North Indian side. They hired people from mostly from the south of India, which unfortunately did not took the battlegrounds to their side. You see the case of Iraq. In Iraq, what happened? There were almost 40% people who were there from Kerala. Kerala itself, like there 40% people from Kerala going to Iraq. You can see the case of Iraq. Don't just try to make a particular location your target for hiring. This is what I have to say. Hire people from different parts of the world. Why cannot a Argentina people or a Spain people or even from a person from Australia be hired in countries like Ukraine or Russia? Why can't they? Money is not and never have been issue. Money has never have been issue in case of hiring or making expat, because expat once hired gives a chance of a country to grow further and make a United Nations. This is what is United Nations for. But you see, this is not the case in the case of these countries which you call the Eastern Europe, or which you are called these days are called war countries. Even case of Azerbaijan, case of Armenia, or any country, Ukraine, Georgia. You see, these countries sadly has been not entertaining expat people to reside and make these countries a home. Very unfortunate. And the corruption took place because of mismanagement of the government bodies and the non-government bodies which have been associated with these countries. The mismanagement of people have put these countries on war, especially the European banks, multinational banks, the European peacekeeping bodies, the unions have not keeping mixed people. You see, you go to the European Union or even the American association, they prefer American to be placed in a particular country, but it should not have been. Once it is a United Nations or even any unified body in the international world means that you are hiring people from different locations. You cannot simply go on giving other people a chance. It is not a healthy scenario. In the end, I would like to again reiterate my words or reconcile that do take people coming to your countries to make a home. Boya. They see, yeah, boya is what you say in the Arabic world, is most of the people who go there try to reside, even the different countries, they try to cooperate in a most peaceful manner. There have been incidents and will be incidents in different countries. But you see, lastly, example of United States of America, example of Great Britain, example of Canada, example of France, Netherlands, Norway, Luxembourg, and Australia. These are countries which have a great set of expat people, including China. China these days is hiring expat from different parts of the world like anything. Their salary of an expat in China is almost the double the salary you get in any other part of the world. So take example of these nations: Hong Kong, Taiwan, Japan. Anywhere you see the progressive nation, if you see the G20 list of nations, most of them have been hiring expat from around the world. So don't go to a war. Try make people a home for themselves into your country, because this is the way things can be avoided and peace can be made. Thank you for listening to me. Have a nice